Alright, a new video to hop into, guys. We got Jacksepticeye. This video is called The YouTube Issues Get Worse. It was actually posted like only 2 hours ago. We're gonna watch it. I'm interested to see what's going on with this YouTube situation. What happened since the last video we watched. As you know, we've been watching this whole YouTube situation unfold. About it being racist and then like these other platforms. There's a lot of stuff going on, bro. Let's watch this video. I'm interested to see what Jack has to say. And let's get into it, man.
I wanted to make another video on this topic because some things have changed in the background since the last time. Okay. And I've met with my YouTube rep in the meantime to kind of talk about some of the issues that I brought up in my video and to talk in general about feedback for YouTube and various other things that have been going on because the whole internet seems to have been rallying against YouTube.
This is a fact, bro. They've been rallying against YouTube. Yo, everybody and their mama has been rallying against YouTube, bro. Everybody and their mama has been attacking YouTube for this whole situation.
The things that have been going on because the whole internet seems to have been rallying against YouTube on their own platform in the last week because of all the videos that have been coming out, and it's become sort of a trend to talk about it and kind of get your gripes out of the way, which I think is great. I think that that's how change gets made, because otherwise it just kind of gets lost and then no one ever talks about it again. As we see with a lot of these topics, they trend very quickly and then they die off very quickly. So I wanted to kind of keep pressure on in a little bit of a way, but also explain some context for some things that have happened since then, because we did the videos initially because of Corey's video, and I wanted to make sure that his message was heard, and also to bring up some other issues that I think YouTube had and to give some sort of feedback in that regard. And since then, Mark uploaded a video called the Try Not to Get Age Restricted Challenge.
I have yet to watch that video, but I did hear about that video from the last video we reacted to, so I might check it out. I don't know if I'll check it out, but I might. Which
was a game that he recorded like months ago, but now just so happened to fit right into the stuff that was going on. So it was very, it was perfect timing for that. And then I had an eye tracker video that I was trying to get out and tried to get greenlit for a while that was proving troublesome, which I knew it would, but that I also did that video then as well, and also called it the Try Not to Get Age Restricted Challenge, just to kind of like poke some buttons and like kick a hornet's nest at it in a way, and kind of like test the systems in a way. And I will say, since that video went up, okay, I'll give context on the video because I did in the last one, but in case you don't know, I recorded the eye tracker video obviously with the intent of kind of like pushing the boundaries of what the system was going to allow. That wasn't the whole point of the video in the first place. I just wanted to see what I could do and then make it a fun video and kind of like react to the salacious stuff in it and make it entertaining that way.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I still have yet to watch Markiplier's video, and I have no idea what video he's talking about. The eye tracker video, maybe it's on his channel, maybe it's not, but I might check that out if it is.
And then make it a fun video and kind of like react to the salacious stuff in it and make it entertaining that way. But we had to censor it so much because it kept coming back saying that it was flagged and it was not suitable for advertisers. And I was like, you know what, that's absolutely fair. There's a lot of like nudity in it. I had to censor a lot of it. A lot of it is still implied. So there was a lot of stuff in it that I knew. I was even like willing to bite the bullet on it and say, okay, maybe we'll just upload this video and not have it be monetizable, and it'll just be a fun video that people can watch. But we kept trying anyway, and then one day Trey was working on an edit of it to try and get some more censors in it to see what we could get away with, and I was just like, you know what, let me appeal this one first. And then when I appealed it, 2 days went by and it came back and it said it was manually reviewed and that it was given the green light. So it got the green icon instead of the yellow one, meaning it was suitable for advertisers. And I thought, okay, great. It seems like the system itself auto-flagged some stuff and triggered the yellow icon.
Yeah, for sure. I think it is a lot of bots. I think it is like bots that first look at it and then go, oh, this is either bad or this is good. We're going to demonetize or we're going to monetize it. I think that's the first step, is like the bots look at it, the YouTube bots. And then after that, it kind of goes into a manual review, right? If you appeal it, for example, which is what he's talking about right here. And their bot system is so bad, bro. Their bot system is so bad. Even on videos that don't have anything bad in them, they still can get flagged for no reason. So there is an issue with their bots. But what he's saying here with, like, you know, all the nudity and all the bad stuff that was in the video, it obviously got flagged for a reason, right? And then I guess he went through a bunch of different editing processes to, like, you know, censor out certain things and kind of clean it up. And then they manually reviewed it, and they accepted it. Is that what's going on here? I think that's from what I'm understanding from what he's saying here.
And then someone manually reviewed it, supposedly a human at YouTube, and were like, yeah, there's enough censors in this, you can get away with it.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And then it was greenlit. And then I uploaded the video and called it the Try Not to Get Age Restricted challenge. Since then, it hasn't been age restricted, but it did get flagged again, which is part of the problem that I said, and I knew uploading it that was a potential that was...
Okay, so this is the video he's talking about right here. I have yet to watch this. Maybe I should watch it on video or something.
Going to happen, and that was a reason kind of why I uploaded it again anyway after that appeal, and didn't try and censor it any further, because I was like, let's just see if my theory holds water, that it can get greenlit by someone at YouTube and then it can get flagged again later. And I brought this up to my rep yesterday, because that inconsistency and saying like, well, it said someone reviewed it and now it's saying that someone manually reviewed it again and it wasn't deemed viable for YouTube. And I was like, why is that a thing? And obviously, he doesn't have all the answers either. And again, I absolutely love my YouTube rep. He's always fighting in our corner and trying his best for the creators. So I don't want anybody out there at YouTube to ever like get mad at him.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I like that, dude. I like he's sticking up for him. So here's something I wanted to point out. Bots and even manual reviews on like these websites where you can post video content, YouTube, TikTok, all these places. I'm going to say this right now. TikTok has the worst possible system. When I post a video on TikTok, it sometimes gets taken down for breaking community guidelines, and I didn't even break any of the community guidelines, okay? And then what I'll do is I'll appeal it. And then after I send the appeal in, sometimes it will get declined. Okay, now this is an actual person reviewing it, right? Because obviously the appeal has to be an actual person. It can't just be a bot looking through your appeal. That makes no sense. So it has to be an actual person. So they physically declined the video from being put back up, okay? But then other times I'll do like the same exact issue in the video. It'll get taken down and then it'll get accepted from my appeal. So this is like the inconsistency he's talking about. And I know he's talking about it on YouTube, but I'm talking about it on TikTok. And there's so much inconsistency. It's like this video and this video. Two videos have the same issue in it. One could get taken down and stay down, and one could get taken down and then brought back up. For no reason. Like, they're the two exact same issues. But like, the inconsistency is crazy on these social media companies.
At YouTube to ever like get mad at him. But some of the stuff obviously can't be told to me because you can't give over the keys to the kingdom. They also don't know 100% how the algorithm works and what it's chasing and everything. And it's probably good that people don't know that, because then you can just game the system way too easily, and that brings up a whole mess of problems as well. And I think what's happening, which I mentioned in the last video, is that users flagging videos can be abused really easily. I said it.
Yes, dude. Yes. I totally agree with that, dude. Flagging videos can be misused so easily, dude. Someone can like hate you, right? Someone can just like have a reason to flag your video, and the reason is just, oh, I hate this YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? It could be no legitimate reason at all, but they could just be like, I hate this YouTuber, so I'm gonna flag the video, and then that flag could be looked at as a real flag, even though it's not. And it's a system that can be abused so easily, dude.
Before that, the Corridor Digital channel got hacked, and then they got mass reported for being hacked because the audience wanted YouTube to know, hey, it's hacked, can you give it back to them? But what ends up happening then is that the system is like, oh, it's mass reported, something's going on, removes the whole channel. And I wondered
that's
how abusive that could be. And another good example of this is that Evelyn uploaded the Mortuary Assistant. It got flagged for the self-harm sort of themes that were in it, as did I. But after that, I think because users were flagging videos a lot, she started getting emails from YouTube being like, are you okay? Are you self-harming? Are you suicidal? Things like that. So it's
interesting.
It's hard to know exactly what's going on behind the scenes and why these things are happening. But the fact, what I'm trying to boil this down to, sorry, I'm getting so rambly. My thoughts are everywhere.
It's like, bro, I suck at these videos too. I suck at these videos. Dude, I suck at videos where I have to sit down and just talk about a subject. Dude, I will get off track so quickly, bro.
Happening. But the fact, what I'm trying to boil this down to, sorry, I'm getting so rambly. My thoughts are everywhere. What I'm trying to boil this down to is that I don't like that I can upload something, it gets yellow flagged. That was totally fine. That was fair. I understood that. Then it gets greenlit by somebody at YouTube after I appealed it. And I'm like, oh, somebody manually reviewed it. Great. That means that it's safe now. And then I upload it and then it gets flagged again. So either people reported the video and then it brought up attention and then YouTube went in and manually reviewed it again. And someone with stricter protocols came in and said, actually, that's not necessary, which means 2 people in that department, if it was 2 separate people, didn't talk to each other, or it was the same person again and they got flack for users flagging it, and then they were like, oh crap, I need to actually flag this again. It just doesn't make sense to me. There's a whole mess of like hierarchy and communication and everything going on in that chain of command that just doesn't make any sense. And it seems like that's the problem at YouTube in general, is that the policy team don't talk to the marketing team, don't talk to the reps. Like, there's so many different departments going on because it's a massive machine of a industry that they're doing. And
for sure, bro, for sure. And I think that is the issue. I think the issue is miscommunication. I think the issue is just not communicating well to other departments, like Jack is saying. I think we need more communication within the departments. We need more communication within the team of YouTube. Because at the end of the day, a video could get taken down and one person from YouTube could have a different opinion. And I want you to take this into consideration. One person from YouTube could look at your video and say, this video, in my opinion, doesn't break the rules. I'm gonna reinstate it. I'm gonna give it a green money sign. Basically meaning it's monetized now. But then another person could look at it and be like, in my opinion, I don't think this should get reinstated. So they're going to keep it down and they're going to keep it demonetized. You know what I'm saying? Just these little varying opinions. And I feel like people need to get like one broad example. You know what I'm saying? So like they can follow guidelines. And I'm sure they do to an extent, but I feel like they do put their opinions out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they do run by their opinions and not by rules. A little bit.
And I get that as well, but there needs to be more communication on their end, so then we get better communication. If at the source you're not talking to each other, how the hell are we supposed to know what the hell is going on? Another example of this.
Exactly, bro.
And Mark, I'm so sorry I keep bringing you into this, but something else happened with him recently that they had the Game On event that we were all part of. And I did like a Minecraft section. Mark did his own like analog horror thing that he wanted to put in. And it was like a live stream that people could vote on decisions. And it was like pre-recorded, but you could effectively like pick the options of where it was going to go. And we recorded like a whole bunch of different versions of it.
Yeah, that's what I heard from Optimus. I think it was Optimus who said it, something like that. But in the previous video we reacted to, but that's such a cool and interesting like way to do things. Is like allow the commenters to pick the scenario that happens. Like that's so cool, bro. And then of course Markiplier getting kicked from the event. His clip got banned from the event. They just took it out. It's terrible, man.
It's gonna go, and we recorded like a whole bunch of different versions of it to make it a more interactive live stream. And it was fun. It could use some work. It wasn't perfect, but for what it was pretty fun. But they marketed it as having Mark in it. When I was in LA, I was talking to Mark about his idea and what he was doing, and he was working on it while I was there. And it sounded really cool. And then the thing came out, Mark tweeted that, oh, watch Game On because I'm in it. YouTube reacted to that and were like, yeah, everyone go watch the stream, and linked to it. And then his section came up. There was a minute-long section of him doing an intermission, and then the rest of it got removed. He had a whole thing planned that all got removed from the stream, and he didn't know about it until the stream was over, and then he was tweeting about it being like, wait, did they cut my section? And I mean, I don't know the exact specifics of why it was cut. A lot of people think it was cut because he did the age-restricted challenge video that day, and then that night they cut the content. That's not true. They didn't cut it because of that.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I thought that was the reason why they cut it, but let's see what Jack has to say.
I've worked with YouTube for a long time. They do not work that fast. And I asked Mark about it, and he said that they cut it for time or something like that. I don't know. That's his thing to discuss. All I know is that it wasn't cut for the sake of him saying something against them. I mean, I criticized them in a video before that as well, and did an age-restricted challenge video. They should have cut my section then as well. Like, I know.
True. That's true. That's a good point. Since he did do an age restricted challenge as well, I feel like he should have got cut as well. So that might not be the reason.
I was in it with a whole bunch of other people, but that theory just doesn't make any sense, and all it did was rile people up and make them even angrier at YouTube for saying they were censoring him. And I feel like that kind of mentality is dragging us away from the main issues that Corey or I or Charlie or anybody else was bringing up during this. And I want to give actual genuine feedback and criticism and possible solutions to things instead of just getting mad and yelling at people and being like, no, YouTube suck. Because, I mean, they don't want their creators to fail, surprisingly, despite what people may think. They actually want the platform to succeed and for us to earn a living on it and for our videos to do well. It's just a big system that people aren't talking to each other. And that's why I'm bringing it up, because I feel like the people who replied to Mark on Twitter didn't know his section was cut, as well as Mark didn't. And I feel like the people who were marketing the entire event and using him in the articles and using him in like the video, the trailer that they put up and like using his face everywhere, I don't think they knew that he was cut either. He still had a very tiny section in it, but his main section was completely cut out of it. And I think that boils down to a lot of departments not talking to each other either. Which just sucks, because what are we supposed to do if YouTube don't know what they're doing either? And that's
it's a fact, bro. It's a fact, man. I don't know how you can listen to Jack talk and just like disagree with it. It's just such a fact, bro. It's such a fact. Like, how are we supposed to know what to do, right, if the departments don't even know what to do, if YouTube as a whole doesn't know what to do? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I feel like YouTube goes into it blind. They go into it blindly, and they just don't know what they're doing.
That's why I'm trying to talk about it, to just kind of like shine a light on it, to be like, hey, you guys need to be better, so we can do what we do and not be left up to a system that is so inconsistent, so unknowable, and so just out of our control that it just makes us not want to upload content or be very, very scared about the types of things that we can upload because everything is so vague. I don't have all the answers.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, dude. Straight up. Exactly. And this goes for TikTok as well, man. TikTok as well. TikTok and YouTube both have this issue, and they need to fix it. They need to, for the creators, man. The creators need a better way to do things. We cannot have this going on for a long period of time, because if it does, it's going to cause a huge mess.
Either, for some people, this will just sound like complaining, but I genuinely just want to see change happen on the platform where everybody...
For sure, man. And I don't think this is complaining at all. I think you're bringing up reasonable points and reasonable arguments for why things need to change.
Is treated fairly, where some people, like Mark and I's videos, didn't get age restricted, but Ethan uploaded a video about his 10-year anniversary and that got age restricted. I don't exactly know what content was in that, and I haven't had a chance to talk to him about it yet, but I'm assuming there's probably not a whole lot in it that should be age restricted. So it just feels like some people get treated differently than others, which of course shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, and that comes down to the bots, man. That comes down straight up to the bots. Like, people being treated other ways than other people. Like, one creator can be treated differently than the next creator. That comes down to bots, in my opinion. That comes down to terrible, trashy bots, man. Trashy bots that don't know what to do. They just randomly give you a say. They just like, this is what's gonna happen to you. And like, we need real humans, and we need humans following some sort of strict guidelines. We can't have humans like going based off of emotion, or sorry, not emotion, but based off of like opinion, because everyone has a different opinion, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Treated differently than others, which of course shouldn't be a thing. We should all be treated fairly across the entire platform, because otherwise, what does it look like? I've done stuff with YouTube in the past. I'm a huge YouTuber. If I get treated more fairly than some other people, makes everybody look bad. It's just makes the system seem completely unfair, and I don't want that either. I feel like some solutions to this could be, originally when we had the copyright system and we would get claimed for a song or something was in a clip or whatever, normally it used to just say this video was claimed by blah blah blah, And that was it. It was just a blanket thing across the entire video. People complained a lot about it. People gave feedback to YouTube about it. Now, most times you get copyright claimed, it has to tell you the specific section that is claimed. And that's great because now as a YouTuber, I can go into the YouTube editor, which is like after the video is uploaded, there's an editor on YouTube that I can go into and trim out a section of the video. It takes a couple of hours to process. And then suddenly the copyright claim gets removed, that clip is gone, the video might be a little wonky because it's not in the original edit and it's not extensive editing tools. But now at least we have an ability to chop that section out, our video is fine, goes out to everybody, perfectly monetizable.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good update. I like that a lot, for sure.
Again. And there are other sections of YouTube now with like, I saw at one point that I got balanced ads on something. So I didn't get fully ad restricted. I got claimed for something and it got ad balanced or something. I can't remember the terminology for it.
Ad balanced? What? All I've seen before is like monetized, not monetized, or limited ads. That's all I've seen before, and limited ads is like terrible. That's basically the whole form of like demonetization. It's the yellow money sign option, and it's the one where they basically pay you absolutely nothing for the video. You get like a few cents per video. And yeah, at that point it's terrible, man. The limited ads suck. And on top of that, they don't like push your content out. I know this for a fact, dude. I know this for a fact. They do not push your content out. YouTube says they do push your content out even if it's demonetized, even if it has that yellow limited ad sign. And that's just not true, man. They don't push your content out if it has that yellow sign. If it has that yellow sign, your video's screwed, man. That's just it.
They got ad balanced or something. I can't remember the terminology for it. And it meant that I still got to earn a portion of the video while the other person got, or somebody else got to earn a portion, or it wasn't fully demonetized. That's also
Oh, interesting. I've never seen that before, but I think I know what he's talking about. Because, like, if you're a copyright owner and you copyright someone's video for, you know, using your music or using your clip or whatever, you can earn all the money from that video for yourself. So that balance thing makes sense. So, like, both people can make it. That's interesting, actually.
a step in the right direction, where everything isn't just carpet bombed right out the gate. And
Yeah.
I think for any content that's age restricted or ad restricted, we also need those systems in place where we should be allowed to know exactly what is getting restricted. If I get ad restricted for something, it should tell me the section that's getting restricted. For the Mortuary Assistant, it was obvious because it said it was for self-harm. There was an obvious section in that game that showed that, so I didn't have to guess. I can edit that out if I want. I don't know if the ad restriction or age restriction goes away. I don't know how that works.
For sure.
Again, is a problem. But
Yeah.
also, I feel like if we get age restricted or ad restricted or something gets flagged in that video, it should be told to us what it is, like the copyright system. So we can know what to trim out, what to fix. We can start getting better about knowing exactly what YouTube don't like. And I feel like also if users are going to flag videos, they should also have to say, especially for the more serious ones, like if there's hate speech or if there's self-harm or suicidal themes in it, I feel like for sections like that, like the Mortuary Assistant, I feel like the users should also have to say a timestamp for where that stuff is. Now, maybe there's reasons for not doing that I don't know because I don't run the company and I don't know I don't know how any of this stuff could sort of backfire potentially. But I feel like that's a step in the right direction as well. Just clarity and communication across all systems are what we need and what YouTube need, and then everybody just kind of knows where we stand and we can move on and do content a bit more accurately and a bit more fairly.
Yeah.
But right now we're in this sort of nebulous space where we don't know. Some people on YouTube obviously know the systems better than I would because I don't get into the weeds of it. But it's just really confusing. There's too much in it that just I don't get. And I feel like that stuff needs to change. And again, I want to make these videos to kind of pioneer some change and actually give feedback and some potential solutions to things. And that's what I hope everybody wants to do, instead of just yelling at the problem and telling YouTube they suck and bring back the dislikes and that kind of thing, because that's not helping anything. That's not that's not how change gets made. Anyway, that's kind of all I wanted to say right now. Not a whole lot, but I just, for what was going on in the last week since my last video, a lot has changed, and my YouTube rep also clarified a bunch of stuff about like swearing and like like videos doing badly and all that stuff, and that cleared up a lot for me. That swearing wasn't as big a deal as I thought it was. It was originally, but now the system's gotten a lot better at detecting swears versus hate speech versus words that are very much not allowed. And there's like a certain amount of swears. Like if you're swearing back to back to back to back, obviously you're going to get flagged for stuff. But just hearing that stuff and kind of having someone that I can talk to at YouTube is very nice. And I know not everybody who does YouTube has that opportunity. So that's another reason to do these videos, is to kind of just give my experience about what's going on, because I have the privilege of being able to actually talk to them about it. So again, we'd just love to know thoughts in the comments if there's anything else that you would like to see feedback on or that YouTube need to know. I gave them a lot of feedback when I met him and talked over a bunch of the different systems and a bunch of different things that were going on in the platform and what people are kind of like complaining about and what people on my end don't like and what people on your end as the viewers don't like either. And I think a lot of that feedback will go back and hit their ears. Whether that gets implemented, I have no idea. That's up to them. And all I can do is what I've done. But that's going to be it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you whenever.
All right, that was the video, dude. That was a good video. I like how he explained a lot of the stuff that's going on, a lot of the issues. I think he did a good job explaining, and I think he shed more light on, you know, the whole Markiplier situation and why he was cut from the YouTube event, which is super interesting. So I want to read some of the comments here. I've never really understood the whole advertiser-friendly thing. The only ads I've ever seen have been for things that adults would purchase. So why would the video need to be kid-friendly? Do advertisers not want to sell airtime during The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones? Are these not age-restricted shows? Interesting. I will say that, yeah. Most ads are like for adults, yeah. Most ads are like products that adults could use and buy, so I totally get that. But that's the video, dude. Thank you guys so much for coming. Very interesting. I think YouTube definitely needs to have more communication in all their departments and all their teams, and then display that communication towards the users and the YouTubers like us. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thoughts. That's my opinions, dude. Great video by Jacksepticeye. Go subscribe to him. And yeah, bro. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.